So often, what we hear about is females being forced to be masculine, and that becoming a detriment to later on relationships. So men saying they don't want masculine women, women saying they don't want to be masculine, but they were forced to be because of previous experiences. It's a self fulfilling sort of trap where I was hurt in the past and I had to step up and be what amounts sometimes just being an adult, but I had to step up and take the reins. I had to wear the pants. So then this is why I took on masculine traits and going forward, why I'm masculine. But the next guy, what does he have to do with your past? Right? This is the trauma trap part of it, where your past mistakes or experiences are now my problem to deal with. So you come to me already masculine, and I'm saying that's not really what I want. But now I have to also understand, well, you're this way because some man in your past made you masculine. Let's talk about it.
Sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. When I was married or when I was in my past relationships and a man didn't wear the pants, I had to take off my skirt and put the pants in the relationship. If a man can't show up and can't be a man and an alpha, then guess what? A
You have to
woman
be.
has to be that alpha. So a lot of men in my life forced me to wear the pants because they had their skirts on. And this is what people don't understand, that when I have been forced to be masculine by men who were not alphas, and I had to show up for the family and I had to pay the rent, the food, everything, I had to. When a woman is in a relationship where the man doesn't show up, she has to put the pants on. So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. Show me an alpha man that is in his true alpha, not in his wounded masculine, but his full-on masculine, and watch me become a sweet, soft little girl. I need a man that is fully in his energy, masculine energy, and when a man gives that woman that feeling, that safety, that energy, that love, you can feel it. Then a woman deassembles her masculine energy and she falls into her feminine and she becomes a child.
So again, we this is the trap that you can only get feminine energy from me once you've proven that you're masculine. Once you've met the conditions, then they unlock. Let's just hold that as true. This is the scenario we're dealing with today. But if I don't want a masculine woman, and that's one of the things that completely, sort of turns me off and repels me, you never get a chance to deassemble your masculine energy. And because most men who have made something of themselves are going to say, "Yeah, that's not what I want. I'm just moving on." You don't have time to take off the masculine shell and then say, "Oh, look, this is where I am. This is who I am." You now get a chance to experience me in my feminine, because for us, it becomes very conditional. As long as I'm doing the things that you deem to be masculine, that you deem to meet your requirements, then you will get this femininity from me. So now we're left with trying to understand, is it that you're feminine or you're wearing femininity? Or are you feminine but you were wearing masculinity? Most men aren't going to take the time to sort of suss this thing out. They're just going to say, okay, you've got some stuff that you got to work through, because essentially what you're saying to us, this is how it reads, right? This is just, guys, back me up in the comments if you think I'm right. If you've experienced this, this is, it's an unfilled deal, and it comes across as trauma. You had poor experiences in the past where you were forced to step up in a relationship, but you were really, just sounds like you were forced to be an adult. You had to pay the bills, you had to go out and work. Okay, this is the equality conversation. This is what it looks like. You are doing the things that men have done, right? Yes, granted, with additional responsibilities, say child rearing. But this is what equality looks like. That no one's coming out there to sort of make it happen for you. And again, maybe we have a society that puts that type of pressure and kind of reaffirms, like, yeah, man, you're supposed to do this. And now that you don't have someone, as a woman, you don't have someone, now you're doing it for yourself. Now you feel like I have to take on these masculine schemas. Okay, this is survival. This is trauma. If this is who you are, then that's who you are. And there's nothing that anyone should say to try and change that for you. Nothing that anyone should try to take away. If you wear those as a badge of honor, then that's what it is. Hold true to that. But you men have a hard time believing and understanding or accepting the deal that I will be what you need me to be once you are what I need you to be. We're better served coming to relationships, to the dating market, to the dating pool as who we are already. If you're not feminine, then that's fine. You just have to find someone that works with. That's all. It's just when you have the list of requirements for men, you want him to be a leader, you want him to be these things, but you never look and say, this is who I am. But let's get back to the trap before we wrap this up. This is where you've found yourself trapped in this cycle of I've been hurt and I had to do things to survive that hurt. Now I go forward with the scabs, with the bruises, with the trauma. I move forward with that and I meet the next one. I go for one boxing match. I didn't heal. I didn't take time in between. Most boxers don't go a week between rounds. You go months, sometimes a year. You go into the next match. It was just yesterday. You've got the trauma still attached to you. And now you look at him and say, you're not masculine enough. You're intimidated by what I do. Therefore, next, on to the next one. And it just reaffirms, resolidifies, recements that masculinity in you to you're going to get to a point where there's no demarcation, there's no separating the two anymore. This is just your character. This is who you are. You there's no I can just let this go. We rarely do that, right? If that were possible, we wouldn't be having these masculinity, femininity conversations. You would go out into the world, work, you would be masculine out there and you would enter your house and you would just let it fall away because who would want to be that way as a woman? But that's not really what it is. We're not that healthy where or this isn't severance where it's like that's what you do here, this is what you do here. That's not the life we lead. So if you're going forward and you're being masculine, whichever way you want to justify it as it's a necessary thing, understand that when you may meet the guy for you. You believe in a soulmate thing. You may meet him. He's just like, no, you're not mine. You're not my soulmate. You're not the person I envision myself being with. Why? Yeah, she's softer. And you want us to understand why you had to be that way. I can understand it. I just don't have to sit in it with you. Guys, if you think I missed something, let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, and I'll link it. Don't get mad at me.